We are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice. Today in this video we'll discuss the problem of the day for 8th of January. The problem name is n digit numbers with digits in increasing order. So all those who have joined this live stream, please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if I am audible to everyone and my screen is also visible, and then in a couple of minutes we'll begin with the problem solving for this particular problem. Also, if you have solved this problem and you have faced some difficulties, so you can let me know in the comments, and you have solved this problem yesterday, that was problem of the day, so you can also tell me about your approach in the comments. And please consider liking the video and please quickly give me a +1 so that we can start as soon as possible. Also, this problem has been rated as medium and the accuracy for this problem are 82%, and the number of submissions for this problem are 3800. The number of points awarded for this particular problem are 4, right? So all those who can hear me, hi Vanshika Kapoor. Okay, so this problem is based on a concept. I'll read the problem statement for you. So the problem says that you have been given an integer n and you have to print all the n digits in increasing order such that their digits are strictly in increasing order, right? What does it mean? I'll be telling you. Like, let's say if you have been given n is equal to 1, if you have been given n is equal to 1, so in that case what you have to do is you have to print all the digits which have one digit and in an increasing order, right? So first of all you will print 0, then you will say 1, then you will say okay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. All these digits are what? All these digits are one digit, that is n is equal to 1, so only one single digit is there and they are in increasing order, right? 1, after then 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in this way, right? After that, let's say n is equal to 2. Let's say if n is equal to 2, then in that case you will not say that 1 and 0. 10 is not an answer. Why? Because the reason why 10 is not an answer, let's suppose that it is a 2-digit format, right? If it is a 2-digit format, that is x and y, in that case whatever the value of x is, y should be greater than x, right? Y should be greater than x. So in that case 11 will also not be an answer for the 2-digit. The 2 digits will start from 12. For 12, why? Because 12 is what? In this case you can see x and y, so y, the second number is greater, right? Similarly, after 12 you will have 13, because 13, the second digit is greater than the first digit, that is 1. Then you will have 14, then you will have 15, then you will have 16, you'll also have 17, you have 18, you have 19, right? In this way you have. Now next up, will you have 20? No, you will not have 20. Why? Because this is the first digit and the first digit should be lesser than the second digit, so 20 will not be an answer, because y, that is the second digit, should be greater than the first digit. So that is why the digit at this place 0 is lesser than 2, so it will not be considered. Then 21 will also not be considered. Why? Because in this case you can easily observe that 1 is lesser than 2, so that is why it will not be added, right? After that you will say 22. What about 22? So in 22 as well you can see that the second digit is not greater than the first digit, right? So that is why you will not add it to your answer. What will you add then? You will add 23, because 23, the first digit is 2 and the second digit should be greater than it, so that is why it is 3. 2 is greater than 3, so that is why you consider it. Then 24, then 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then you will go in the series of 3s, right? Let me show you the second test case where it has been written. So you can see 12, then 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, then 20 is skipped, 21 is skipped, 22 is also skipped, and then you come to 23, right? So if this much part is clear to everybody, then you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat. Like if you have the first digit as 9, then with that you cannot make any 2-digit number, because 9 is the greatest, and after that you will not have any number between 0 to 8 which is greater than 9, so that is why you will not make anything with 9. With 8 you can make only one possible digit, that is 9. With 7 you can make 78 and 79 only, right? With 6 you can make 67, 68 and 69, only these 3 digits, right? In this way. Is this part clear to everybody? If this part is clear to everyone, then you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat, so that I know that at least this much part is clear to everyone, right? So it's clear. What about others? What about others? Is this clear to everyone? Like if it's n is equal to 1, then in that case the digit will be 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. All the single digits will be in increasing order. If my n was 2, then the digit will not be 10. Why not 10? Because the second digit should be greater than the first digit. That is, if it is a form of x and y, in that case this second digit y should be greater than x, right? So that is why 11 will also not be an answer. So you will start from 12 because the second digit is greater than the first one. Then you will have 13, then you will have 14, then you will have 15, then you will have 16, then you have 17, then you have 18, then you have 19, then you have 20, 21, 22. 22 will not be there, right? Because 22, the second digit is lesser. Then you will have 23, then you have 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, right? Once you come to 30, so 30 will not be an answer, 31 will also not be an answer, 32 will not be also, 33 will not be also, 34 you will start from 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and then 44, then not 44, you will start from 45, then 46, 47, 48, 49, then you will start from 56, 57, 58, 59, right? Then 60, then you will have 67, then 68, 69, then you have 78, 79, then you have 88, 89, right? This way. Is this part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everybody? Is it clear to everyone? Right? If this much part is clear, quickly give me a +1, right? Let's say if you have n is equal to 3, in that case what would happen? If your n is equal to, basically what I am saying is, let's suppose you have a 2 digit, are you okay? Let's suppose that we have n is equal to 3, right? In that case we need 3 digits, right? X, y and z. So in that case what should happen is that like this digit x should be like this, x, y and z, the relation should be like this. Like you can make 1 2 3, like 1 2 3, then you can make 1 2 4 like this, then 1 2 and 5, 1 2 6, like things like this. Like 1 1 and 2, this will not work, or 1 or something like this, 2 1 and 3, this will not work, right? These things will not work. So is the part clear to everyone? I hope that this much part is clear to everyone, right? So what does the question say? So if you have just n is equal to 1, that is the base case. If there is only one digit, then you for sure know that the answer will be between 0 up till 9, right? All the digits between 0 and 9 will be your answer. But if your n is equal to 2, then what you will start, you will not start from 0, right? Because you need a 2-digit number, and like 09 is not a 2-digit number, it is actually a 1-digit number, right? So that is why what you will be doing is you will be starting from 1, and for 1 what you have the second digit, right? What are the options that you have for the second digit? The options that you have for the second digit are from 2 to 9, right? For then after that, once you have done with 2, so for 2, what will you have the option as the options for the second digit? You will have options between 3 to 9, right? Like this. After that, for 3 you will have options for this digit between 4 to 9, right? For 4 you will have the options between 5 to 9, right? For 5 you will have the options between 6 to 9. For 6 you will have the options of digits to pick between 7 to 9, right? Like 67, 68, 69, like this. Then for the next digit, that is for 7, you will have options between what? For 7 you will have options between 8 and 9, right? Like this. Then for 8 you will have options, that is only one option, that is 9. That is 9 to 9, that is only one digit, right? For 9 you will not have any options, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, then you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if this much part is clear, right? Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Like if the current digit is x, if the digit at the current position is x, then the next options for the digit will be between x plus 1 to 9. If the current digit is x, then the next digit options will be from x plus 1 to 9, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, then please consider writing a +1 in the chat if this part is also clear to everyone, right? Also like the video if you haven't done that. So is this part clear to everyone? I hope that it is clear. You can just let me know in the chat if this is clear or not. You can write clear in the chat or yes in the chat, so that I know that at least this much part is clear, right? For a particular digit, like if this was the digit, first of all, this was if this first digit was 1, then the option for the next digit would be x plus 1, right? But from x plus 1 to 9. If this digit was if this digit was 2, that is x was 2, then in that case the options will be between x plus 1 to 9, right? That is between 3 to 9, right? Nitin, good sarcasm, right? So this much part must be clear to everybody. Now the question comes that how do you actually do this question, right? Let's say if you have n is equal to 3, in that case what will happen? If you have n is equal to 3, so in that case you will start like this. You will start something like this. You will first of all pick up your first digit option. So like this, you will have this thing, right? So for the first digit you can have options between 1 to 9, right? So let me write it 1. Let's say you have option 2. Let's say you have 3, right? Like this options, like until 9, right? For the first digit, I'm saying, let me delete this part, right? Okay, for the first digit I'm saying, let's make some space. Okay, for the first digit, for the first position, you'll have these many options for the first position, right? So for the first position you have these many options, right, in between. So what will happen if this is 1, then for the second digit you draw this back, right? You, for the first digit you have picked 1, so for the next digit, for the second digit, you have options between x plus 1. Let's suppose this was x, so you have the options for this particular digit between x plus 1, that is between 2 to 9, right? So for this particular position you will try to fill it from 2 to 9, right? The possible candidates are 2, 3, 4 up till 9. Let me draw it for you like this: 2, 3 up till 9, like this, right? Let's suppose you have filled 2 as well. So let's suppose you choose this one. Let's suppose you have chosen 2 for the second place. So 1, then 2, then let's say you have the third position, right? So for the third positions you have plenty of options. What are the options? The options are the last digit, that was 2 plus 1, right? The last digit was 2, so this will be 3. Then another option can be 4, another option can be 5, another option can be 6, another option can be 7, another option can be 8, another option can be 9, like this. Is this much part clear to everyone? Like if you fill 3, then the digit would become 1 2 3. If you fill 4, so the digit will be 1 to 4. If you fill 5, so 1 to 5. If you fill 6, 1 to 6. If you fill 7, 1 to 7. If 8, then 1 to 8. If 9, then 1 to 9, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everybody? You can just let me know, and if it is clear, just please write yes in the chat if this part is clear, right? Similarly for this one, what you will do is, first of all, you are saying that you will pick 2 as the first digit, right? If you pick 2 as the first digit, then you will have options to pick for the second digit. So what will be the options? You will have options between 3, 4 up 5 up till what, 6, 7, 8 and 9, like this you will have options. So let's say if you pick 3, so in that case what will this number look like? 2 3, the number will be 2 3. Then for the last position you will have options. What will be the options? The option will be the last digit plus 1, that is 4. Options between 4 5 6 7 8 and 9, like this, right? And similarly for this as well, like if you have supposed you have taken, let's say you took 9 as the option, so in that case you let's suppose that you chose 7. So in this case what will be the case? The situation will be 2 and 7 will be selected, and now for the last digit you will have options between 8 and 9, like this, right? So you will can you feel that for doing this you can make a recursive approach? Is this much part clear to everyone, like how you are doing it, right? How we are using a recursive approach for doing this? Basically, if we have a digit, we first of all, n is equal to, let's say, 3. So first of all, what will happen? First of all, you fill this x position. For this x position you will have the digits between 1 to 9, right? Then for this position y, you will have options between x plus 1 to 9, right? Between x plus 1 till 9. And for this position z, you will have options between y plus 1 till 9, right? Is this part clear to everyone? I hope that this part is clear to everyone, right? So the target is, the thing is that first of all try to fill, like if you are filling 1, if you are filling this n for n is equal to 3, if you are filling the first position, so the first position will have options between 1 to 9, then accordingly you will have options between 2 to 9, but you cannot make a pair randomly. Basically that will depend on what is the value of the first digit, then after that you will proceed. So in this way, once this part is selected, one x is selected, so this will be between x plus 1 to 9, right? And then once y is also selected, so x and y will be selected, where y would be greater than x, right? After that you have to select a z, and you will select z in such a way that z is greater than 9, and all these digits, all x, y and z would be belonging to 1 to 9, right? And x would be lesser than y would be lesser than z, right? And is this much part clear to everyone? Like, and also one more thing, like let's suppose you are filling it, right? If this is the case, so initially n value is 3. Once you fill this position, so let's say you fill 2 in this position, right? So the n value should become, let's suppose that you fill 4 in this position instead of 2. Let's suppose you fill 4. So one position is filled. So now how many number of positions need to be filled? 2 positions needs to be filled, right? So after this, let's say after 4, you have filled something like, let's say you have filled 6, right? So after this, what will happen? Only one digit needs to be filled. So if one digit only needs to be filled, so what you will do? This is 4, this is 6, and then let's say you fill this digit as well, so you fill 8 in place. Like let's suppose you are filling 8, you have the options between 7 to 9. Let's suppose that you have filled 8. So after this your n will become 0 at this step, right? Once your n becomes 0, so you will push back, you will do in your vector or in your list, you will directly push back this 468, the number 468, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, then please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if this much part is clear, right? So basically what I am saying is, it will depend on the value of n and how you would be starting. You would be starting from 1, right? You will be starting for 2 digits, you will be starting from 1. So what you will do is, you will call a recursive function, that is recursion of let's say 0 comma n comma something like this, 0 comma n comma let's say like this, something like this, 0 comma 1, like 1 and 0. Like, what was the last digit? Assuming that the last digit was 0, so in this recursive function, what you will say is, you will say that let's say int the last digit that you had taken, then n is the number of chances that you are having currently, right? And after that, this is the current number that you have, right? The current number. So what you will be doing in this part is, let me show you the code part. So basically what we'll be doing is, we have a recursive function we have a function that is increasing numbers. So in this we have to return a vector. So if n is equal to 1, so you will fill all the digits from 0 to 9 and simply you will return the vector. Another part is, if you are not able to do that, so you will call a recursive function. Let's say if this function is rec, right? This function, let's name it as rec as well, right? So you will call this function from 1, n and 0. What do I mean by that? So in this recursive function, what we'll be actually doing is, in this recursive function, first of all, what is the last digit that you have passed? The last digit you are assuming currently as 1, right? So you'll start from 1, so you will start your loop from 1, right? So that is why in the last we are considering 1, then n is the number of digits that you want to fill, right? The number of digits that you want to fill, and num is the current number. Num is the current number that you have built. Right? So what you will do in this case is, you will simply say, if n is equal to 0, that is the number of all the digits are filled, all the positions are filled, then in that case you will simply return the number. Like in the case we discussed for 468, my n value was what? For 468, what was my n value? My n value was 0. So the moment I have filled all the digits, so simply I'll push that into my vector and I'll return from the current recursive call. If that is not the case, then what is the situation? Currently I do not have any number, right? Let's suppose if n was 3, so I do not have any number. So what will happen? Is, like my iteration will start from last. I will start from last, and what I will be doing is, my number that is currently I want, and my num is 0. Notice currently my number is 0. I do not have any number, right? So 0 into 10, which means 0 plus 1 plus I is currently 1, right? I is currently 1. So the I is currently 1. So my a becomes 1, right? So since a becomes 1, so that is okay. I'll say that okay, currently my number is 1. Then after that, in the next recursive call, what will happen? I'll call it with recursion of, I'll call this function, that is recursion of 2, that is 2. Why? Because I want to build the next digit, right? So I'll have to generate all the digits from 1 to 2, right? So this way, so I plus 1, then what will happen? This will be nothing but now the number of digits will decrease, so now it will be 2, right? Because if assume that n is equal to 3, so I want to fill 2 more digits. After that I'll pass the number 1, right? After this, what will happen? I come to this recursive call, and once I come to this recursive call, so I check, is the number n is equal to 0? No, n is equal to 2, right? And my last is 2, so since the last digit was 2, so now I'll be starting from, now I'll say that, okay, since the last digit was 2, so the number generated would be what? A would become 1 and 2, right? 12. A would become 12, so that is 1 into 10 plus 2, that will make me 12, right? So the current number is 12, and what I will be doing is, after that I need to pass the recursive function with 3, and the number of digits that I require is 1, and my current number that I am having, current number that I have stored is 12, right? So I'll pass A into it. After this, what will happen? I have one chance is still left, so n is not 0, so I will start from I'll start from the last, so that is I will start from the last index, so that I can make my number as 1 to 3, right? I have made it 1 to 3, then I'll decrease n to 0, right? I'll decrease n to 0, and I'll pass the number 1 to 3, right? And the last number that I had passed will be I plus 1, that is 4, right? Because now I need to start from I plus 1, right? If the last digit was 3, so I need to start from 4. So I now check, is my n is equal to, what is my n? N is equal to what? N is equal to 0 in this case, right? So that is why I'll simply push back 1 to 3 into my answer. After that, what will happen? After that, I'll come back to the recursive call. I'll come back to the recursive call, that was the recursive call of 3, where I had 3, 1 and 1 and 2 were present, right? I'll come back to this recursive call again, and I have the digits 1 and 2 with me. Now I will be changed. Now instead of 3, I will be changing to 4, right? I will change to 4. So the moment I do that, so I will change, so the number will become 1 to 4, and this will become again 0. This the last digit would become 5, and this will become 0, right? This will become 0, and this will be 1 to 4, right? This way it will look something like this, 1 to 4, right? So the 1 to 4, now n will be 0 again, so I'll do this, right? After this, what will happen? After this, the recursive call for 5 will be called. So when the last digit is 5, so in that case, what would happen? I will still have 1 and 2, right? I'll have still 1 and 2, and I'll be passing this thing. So now the number would become 1, 2 and 5, and again my n would become as 0, and I'll plus I plus 1, so that number would become 6, and the number is 1 to 5, so it will get stored, right? This way. Is this much part clear to everyone? Like, please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if this part is clear. Also, you are generating the number each time, that is why you are multiplying it by 10. So now asterisk 10 plus 1, that is what we are doing every time you are doing. So the number is incrementing, right? The number is, if the number was 1, then you have to add the second digit 2, so that is why you will multiply the current number by 10, and then you will add the current digit, right? In this way, if you have 1 and 2 and you want to add 5, so 12 will be multiplied by 10, so 120 plus 5, that will be 125, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, then you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat. Now the question comes that, okay, this function will be doing the thing for us, right? So it is just nothing but recursion. What we are doing, we are first of all we assume that if the digit was 1, then the candidate for this will be between 2 to what? 2 to 9, right? And if, let's suppose you pick 1 and 2, then the candidate will be 3, then 1, 2, 4, like this. So the number will keep on getting inserted in the vector in the increasing order. Now the question is, what will be the time complexity of such a function, right? What will be the time complexity? Anyone can comment down what will be the time complexity of this particular approach. What will the time complexity? Like, let's say if we have a digit like this, if we have to fill this this many number of digits like this, right? If we have this something of this kind, right? So for the first digit, I have options between 1 to 9. I have options between 1 to 9, right? Let's suppose I fill 1 in this, right? If I fill 1 in this, so can I say that for the first digit I have 9 options? I have 9 options because I can fill any number between 1 to 9. Let's suppose I have filled 1, right? If I fill 2 in this, assuming I fill 2 in this, so for the next digit I have 8 options, right? I have 8 options. Like, for this particular digit I have 8 options, right? Correct. Then for this I have 7, then for this I have 6, right? So this way, 9 into 8 into 7, right? Like this, something like this. Then up till 1, right? So this is nothing but n factorial, right? This combination is nothing but n factorial. So if you have, let's say, let me show you like what I mean by that. So let's say if my n was something equal to n was 2, right? So if I had two digits, so for the first digit I had 9 options. If I put 1, so I have 9 options, right? I have 9 options. Then for the second digit, how many options I have 8 options. I have options between 2 to 9, right? For if I put 1 here, then I have the options between 2 to 9, like this, right? And for the next, for this particular digit, I'll be having the options between 3 to 9, right? If I put 2 into this, so 3, so that is why 7 options. Like the 3 between 3 to 9, total there are 7 digits, right? Similarly for the next position, so like this. And there can be a lot of combinations as well, as you know. So that is why 9 into 8 into 7 into up till 1, right? For the last digit you will have only one option, right? You can just have fill 9 in it, right? So this way. And after that it is nothing but n factorial, right? This part is nothing but n factorial. And as you know that we are using the time complexity for this particular program. The time complexity for this particular program, right? The time complexity for this particular program would be order of n factorial, right? After this n factorial, what will the space complexity of this particular program? Can someone let me know in the comments? So the space complexity will be nothing but order of n. Why it will be order of n? Why it will be order of n? The reason for it being order of n is, the reason is the height of the recursive tree, right? Height of the recursive tree. Why? Because if you suppose if you have 1 for this particular position, then for these positions you have between 2 to 9, right? So let's suppose you put 2 in this position, right? 1 then 2, then you have this position, so you have 3. So you can see that whatever was the level, right? For this you will have 1 2 3, right? 1 2 3 like this. So you can see this was level 1, this was level 2, this was level 3, and this was nothing but n is equal to 3. So that is why the height will the space will be what? The recursive stack, the stacks that are there existing in the memory because of recursion. So it will be nothing but order of n, that is the height of the recursive tree that will be made. So that is why it will be nothing but order of n. Is this much part clear to everyone? Like, if it is clear, then you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat. Also, if you want, I can show you the recursive tree, like how actually it would look like. So what would happen is, assume that you are making a 3-digit number, or let's say you are making a 2-digit number only, or let's say you are making a 3-digit number, right? So if you have these 3 digits, so first of all, let's say you make, in this you take 1 as the first digit. Then after that, for this you will have to take 1 and 2, right? 1 2, then you have one more digit, so you will take 1 2 3, right? Like this, 1 2 and 3, like, right, like this. After this, what will happen? You can take another option for this, right? So it can also be something like this, that is 1 2 and 4, like this. Then you can also let me draw it a little bit on the same level, right? So this will be what? This will be 1 2 4, right? For the last, for another option that you can have is 1 2 and 5, like this. Right, after that you similarly you can do up till 1 2 and 9, right? Next up, if you have chosen, let's suppose if you had chosen something 2 for the 2 for this digit, right? 2 for this particular digit. So for this particular digit, what you could have done is, first of all, you could have made it like 2 3 and 2 and 3, right? For the second digit you could have chosen 3, or you could have chosen 4, so this would have been 2 4. And then you could have had the options to choose the last one as well. Then you could have also chosen 2 4 and 2 and 5, like this, and up till 2 and 9, right? 2 and 9, like this, something like this, right? And for the last digit also you have options, like if you have 2 and 3, let's suppose I'm making this here. So if you have 2 and 3, so for the last digit, first of all you will be choosing 1 2 3 4, then you will be choosing 2 3 5, like this. So this, in this way, it will get inserted in the vector, in the vector in the increasing order. So the time complexity will be order of n factorial, and the space complexity will be order of n, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is clear, so please like the video, consider liking the video, and also give me a +1 in the chat, right? I hope that this part was clear. So this was a problem based on recursion, and obviously if you want to strengthen your recursion, so that is how you can solve this problem. Let me show you the code once again. You can I have opened the code, so if you want, you can take a screenshot of my code and you can try to implement it. Also try to dry run it for n is equal to 3 and you will get it, obviously. After that, one more thing that I wanted to say was, like we have this thing that is problem of the day on Geeks for Geeks, as you know. So we have this problem of the day daily for Geeks for Geeks, and the today is 9th of December, 9th of January. So for 9th of January today we have the problem that is positive negative pair. So the problem is based on hashing and it has been asked previously in Amazon. So you can try out this problem. If you will solve this problem within the day, that is today, before the end of today, so you will get 1 point, 1 geek point, and using those points you can purchase some Geeks for Geeks goodies, that is bag or t-shirts or things like that, or Geeks for Geeks coupons. So like you can try out the portal that is Geeks for Geeks problem of the day, because in this you can see a lot of problems like this particular problem, longest common prefix in an array. It has been asked in VMware, Microsoft and many other organizations like this. And also like you can see this problem integer to words, it has been asked in Amazon, Microsoft, Oracle and so. So like this way you will just be solving one problem each day on Geeks for Geeks and you'll be getting consistent. So comment down below if you solve this problem. So come back to this video after you have solved the problem of the day for today, and make sure to comment down like if you have solved it, so that I can also see, right? And also if someone is watching the recording, so make sure to comment down like how was the explanation and like what was your approach, right? So thanks a lot everyone for watching. In the end I would say you can consider subscribing the channel if you haven't done that, and I will see you soon in the next one. Till then take care and make sure to practice the essay.